The Changpas are a tribe of semi-nomadic people who live in Changtang, the high-altitude plains of Ladakh and northern Tibet. Crops do not grow at these high altitudes, so the Changpas survive by raising goats and yaks. It is a hard life as they spend almost every moment of their days taking care of their animals and processing their produce. In this episode, we will see what a typical day of a Changpa is like during the winters. Everything from their activities at home, in the village, and out in the plains with their animals. The winter day starts at around 7 am. Amale is the first to wake up and she braves the morning cold to collect some gobar, start the bukar and make some tea for her family. After tea, Amale and Sering Dorje go out to attend to their yaks. Only the females, the dimos and their calves are kept in the village, while the males are left to graze higher up in the mountains. The calves are kept in a pen overnight for their safety and they are let out one by one in the morning. They are allowed to drink their mother's milk for a little while and then the dimos are milked. The milk or umma from the dimos form an integral part of the diet of the Changpas. The milk is fermented to make different dairy products like curd, butter and cheese. It is quite interesting to see the butter being made in Changtang. Curd is shaken vigorously in a bag made of goat skin to separate the butter from the curd. It is a long, tedious process, especially in the winters, as the curd needs to stay warm for the butter to separate. The Changpas frequently check the temperature of the bag and add some hot water until the butter gets separated. The Changpas' main source of income is their sheep and goats, which provide meat, wool and pashmina for the Changpas to sell. The pashmina wool or cashmere from Changtang is famous throughout the world, and it is obtained from a special breed of goat called the Changra, which is indigenous only to Changtang. The main activity of the day for the Changpas is to take their sheep and goats out to graze. The herds belonging to the different families in the village are led out to graze in a staggered manner to avoid mixing of the animals. The herders take their animals to graze in different areas around the Tarsapuk lake. Sometimes they go to the plain grasslands along the shores of the lake, while at other times they go towards the various hills and small valleys that surround the lake. No matter the weather conditions, be it sunny, cloudy, windy or snowing, the Changpas have to take their animals out to graze, as there are no off days in Changtang. All the yaks belonging to the village are led out to graze in one big herd. The families take turns to provide somebody to look after the yaks for the day. He or she has to lead the yaks to graze in the morning and bring them back to the village in the evening. Back in the village, the Changpas are busy attending to various chores around the house. The goat pens need to be cleaned every day. The soil is shifted around to remove any strands of wool that the animals might have shed overnight. This ensures that the pen remains clean, dry and warm, and making it comfortable for the animals, especially in the winters. Preparations for the evening are done by filling small pouches with grain to feed the sheep and goats on their return. Besides meat, the main staple food of the Changpas is something called sampa, which is basically roasted barley flour. Sampa is edible as it is without further cooking, and it is usually eaten along with butter tea. Traditionally, the Changpas use a portable stone mill to grind the roasted barley into flour. It is a time-consuming process, but the Changpas swear that the hand-ground sampa is much tastier than the sampa that is ground in electric mills back in Leh. Meanwhile, out in the plains, the shepherds keep an eye on the grazing sheep and goat. It is a relaxing time for them. They let the animals graze by themselves and just keep an eye out to ensure that the animals do not stray too far away from the herd or stray too close to another herd. The shepherds have different ways to while away their time while their animals are grazing. Some spend their time saying prayers, while some others use the time wisely to spin some yarn for use in the summers.
क्या बोला परका
Perka, perka. ये कौन बाहर
बागोर
बाहर श्री यांचन
सिरिंग यांगचिन ठीक है
शुसा
They light fires in the meadows to keep themselves warm and to make some tea. Lunch is eaten out in the open. They bring some rotis and sampa from home and eat it along with the tea.
मिट्टी का तेल है
मिट्टी का तेल नहीं
हाँ
मेप्सो है
क्या
मेप्सो
क्या
ये जैसे ना गोबर के ऊपर केरोसिन डाल के लाया है
मेप्सो
मैप्सो
केरोसिन है
केरोसिन अच्छा है
वो अच्छा है
जब आप एकला जाएगा ना
हाँ
इसके ऊपर रख देना पतला
ठीक है
The shepherds direct the movement of their animals through a series of whistles and shouts. They also use a sling for this purpose. The yurdo is a vicious device capable of hurling rocks at great speed.
इसको क्या बोलते हैं
इसको
हाँ
इसका नाम बोलता है वो उर्दू बोलता है उर्दू
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 हाँ उर्दू
इसको इसका डराने के लिए ना पत्थर लगा तो मर जाएगा ये
हाँ मर जाएगा तो मर जाता है फिर आगे बढ़ टूटता है ना
हाँ
भागने नहीं
और
Evening is the busiest time of the day for the Changpas. Just like in the morning, the return of the herds in the evening is also staggered to avoid confusion and mixing of the animals. Herd after herd wait in a long queue to enter the village. And the herders must be tired by now in the evening, so their family members go out and exchange places with them. This allows the herders to return back home early and warm up with some hot tea and porridge. It looks like a chaotic scene in the village when the goats and sheep return, but actually there is an order and method to this madness. The first thing the Changpas do is to release the young kids to their mothers so that they can be fed. Most of the healthier goats and sheep go directly into their pens, eager to huddle together and warm up for the night. But the weaker animals hang around near the house till they are fed a special ration of grains. The grains are tied around their mouth so that there is no wastage. The animals are so eager to be fed that they jostle and jump over each other, trying to get the Changpa's attention. The yearling Pashmina goats are fed separately every evening to ensure that they grow up strong and healthy. First they are given some grains to eat, and then they are given a special dough made from atta. The yaks are brought back to the village at around the same time as the goats and sheep, but they are kept in the outskirts till all the goats and sheep are enclosed safely in their pens. The yaks are attended to late in the evening, just before it gets dark. Some of the weaker animals are given a special feed before they are tied up for the night. These are the scenes played out at every Changpa camp all through the year, all over Changtang. Finally, the Changpas retire to their huts for some well-deserved rest. Even now, they won't sit idle. They will use this free time to spin some yarn, pray, listen to the news on the radio, and so on. They have their dinner at around 9 pm and turn in for the night, knowing that they have to wake up early next day and repeat all this all over again.